Alright guys, before you guys see, we went back to the buzz, guys. Honestly, my rationale for it was I really liked my long hair, but it was just getting to the point where the maintenance of it and like having to go 2-3 days without shampooing and then like letting my hair dry. Like I would almost have to shower like a lot earlier. Like maybe like it would take about almost 45 minutes for it to dry. And I just didn't really like that. And then like just every morning having to wake up and like do my hair, like brush it. And it's like, I like to be able to wake up in the morning, wash my face, brush my teeth, put some clothes on, and start hitting downstairs. And, it's just having to like condition my hair, having to like just do all of the necessary requirements to make sure that your hair is like, healthy. And I was like, you know what, man, like I like the look, I really like the aesthetic that my long hair provided, but it's just, I like simplicity. I like low maintenance. The less maintenance, the better. Because if I'm being honest, like I'm not gonna put product in my, like that's what I'm saying. Like it was counterintuitive to apply product in my hair when I wasn't shampooing my hair every day. And it's like when your hair is a certain length, you kind of have to like start. Sometimes you just rinse with hot water, cold water, and then like. Once your hair reaches like a certain threshold of oiliness, then you wash it, right? So I just kind of, I was like, it's just time. It's time, and it's about to start getting hot in Texas. It's about to start getting like really, really hot, and what better time than now to get ready to get. This is a perfect haircut for the summer. When you're a big person, when you're a big body, or you just produce a lot of heat, because this like hair, it almost insulates the heat to the top of your head and like around your neck and stuff. So, now I have a lot of skin to sweat and let that heat like, just leave my skin. So anyways, this week, so we kind of like deloaded last week, and then we're at a new block. Today I have a double at 6. Which I'm thinking anywhere between 804 to 848 with a 3x4 at 5. So I'm thinking like maybe 750, 749 for sets of 4. Nothing incredibly crazy, but just solid work. And that's really what I want to do today, is just put in some solid work. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get dressed. I'm trying to be out of here fast AF because my brother's coming to town. My oldest brother's coming to town, so I'm hoping to catch him for a quick lunch before he's got to go back to Odessa. It's just part of work and stuff. So let's get today started, baby. Yeah, I think 840 a bit chill. You know, I ain't never paused shit before in my life, but that felt kind of good. It almost just feels like it makes it an RPE and a half harder, low key. To pause it mid rep, like, I don't know, I don't know if it was just like a confident surge of strength or it just felt kind of good to pause. So I paused the second one too. All right guys, I'm gonna just record one set since it is kind of like baby week. Okay guys, so correction. I actually only had 2 sets today, so we're done. It was supposed to be a 2x6, but I did a 2x4. But either way, man, at this weight range, the difference between 4 to 6 reps is honestly pretty negligible. Like it's not gonna do nothing. So what we have next is some incline bench. So I think what I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna go do 2 plates on my first set, and then after that I'm gonna do what you would call 3 plates. And I think that'll be a good working range for today. So let's get started, guys. All right, guys, we're about to do our first set. So gonna try to knock this out, easy peasy. I think it sets to 6. Nothing too crazy. And then we'll go up a plate. Actually, I'm gonna stay at 2 plates. And what I'm gonna do differently is I'm gonna do a spotto press, which is gonna be about anywhere from 1 inch to 2.5 inches off the chest. And my rationale for that is my pec is still feeling a little tight, so I think just playing it careful is gonna be good for Friday. So, you know, I might feel better on Wednesday. I probably just need to get some work on it though. So, ooh. All right, guys. So it's been about a week and a day since this video was recorded, but I think I was supposed to come back home and essentially record the outro, which I never did, and it's just, you know, dad stuff, life stuff, things get in the way, you know, and it's just obviously recording a YouTube video outro is not going to be super high on the to-do list when I have like 20 different things to do, right? But anyways, just to kind of wrap up that day, right? Because now we're on the 12th of May. So, like I said, it's been about 8 days. But that was essentially like my first deload day, kind of, that Joey gave me. Like, I know I deloaded the week before, but that was like a little bit more intentional in terms of the way it was written into the program, right? So we're about 6 weeks out, you know, I think today, then about 7 weeks out. So it doesn't even feel like Worlds is around the corner, if I'm being honest. You know, like, I haven't gotten my flights yet. I haven't received confirmation about my hotel. And it just kind of seems like a very distant thought, if I'm being honest, just because I just got so much going on, you know. Like, what I'm really worried about is the fact that, you know, I'm not going to be able to bring my boys with me. So that's and Saria, and it's just my family, you know. It's really depressing, you know, and it's like I hate being away from them, especially for long periods of time in a different country. So that's that, you know. But I just think in the season that I am in life, you know, and I was talking to my sister about this yesterday, it's just everything we're doing now is for us, right? Because before, a lot of the things we did was for like our mom. Like the reason my mom was such a big motivating factor in my passion was because I wanted to succeed so that she could be proud. I wanted to give her something to be proud of, right? And now where I'm at in life, like I'm getting older, I'm almost 30. I've been 400 pounds for, since 2022, essentially. And I got 2 kids, my perspective is changing. Prioritization of goals are changing, and I'm just kind of figuring out life right now, one day at a time. And it's just that 6 world title is one of the last things I haven't done that I told my mom I was going to do, because I would always tell her that I was going to hit 6 titles. And that's just kind of what this feels like, man. And if I'm being honest, it feels like I'm dragging my feet to Lithuania. I really don't have any words for it, but all I do know is I gotta keep checking up. I gotta keep showing up every single day. I gotta keep putting my best foot forward every single day. And it's not always about how you feel. It's about how you respond to your feelings. And it is how you use your feelings to either construct or destroy. Because, technically deconstruction is a word too, right? It's like to disassemble. But I think destroy would be a little bit more fitting. So it's just, I'm really just trying to enjoy training as much as possible. I'm just trying to have a good time as much as possible. Trying to give myself a little bit of grace and not be too hard on myself. And, because it's just right now, it's not the time to do that, and it's just, I'm just in a very unique boat. I've never felt like this before in my life, and it's just figuring it out. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Should have recorded the outro when I was supposed to, so that way it would have been a much more cohesive video instead of like having a large gap in between, right? Because the Jesus of today is not the Jesus of that day, right? That would have been on the 4th of May, right? You're a different person essentially, like every day, every moment that passes, it changes you. And my thoughts from then are not my thoughts from today. That's what I'm saying. So anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying the uploads. Let me know in the comments. I really genuinely appreciate when you guys take the time to check up on me, in the comments. I don't read them every day or often, but I do read them. I do read them over time, So I'm genuinely grateful for those of you guys who have poured into me, because I've been there where I have a comment typed out on somebody's page, somebody's post, but I always tell myself, like, is it really going to do anything? Is it really going to make a difference? But sometimes it does. Sometimes it does make a big difference. So I'm grateful to those who genuinely care about me. Like you guys don't necessarily, like, you guys care about me as a person, not just as an athlete, as a performer. And you guys are a big reason as to why I'm finding the strength every single day to continue pushing, to continue putting myself out there, and it's just, things are going to get better. I believe that they have to, and we're just chipping away. All right, please like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video.